the swelling in your hands will go down. Good job. Weeks, like being pregnant, we get a little stressed, so we're going to needle do 20 up at the top of the head. Hi guys, Dr. Ludeman from Bolingbrook Family Chiropractic in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I'm a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor. Today we have Dr. Amber here. She's 40+1. We bid her farewell in the last video, and she still came back to us because she's still pregnant. But typical first time mom, 41+1 is the average, so we think you have a couple more days. But anyway, today we are going to show you how we do acupuncture for induction. So with acupuncture, there is a set of points that are called the forbidden points, and you cannot needle them until your patient is 36 weeks. And Dr. Amber is 40+1, so we're going to get this baby out. So the points that we're gonna do are a point here on her hand and then a point here down at her ankle. So this point here on the hand, this is LI4. I'm also going to do a point on the top of her head and in the middle of her head. Go ahead and pause. You can see here, we're gonna alcohol off the spots. So we're gonna do this LI4. We're gonna do the spot here in the middle of her head, spot here in the top of her head. Gotta make sure we wipe her makeup off. I'm gonna do a little spot here down by her ankle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use these DC Spring 10 needles. Here's a fresh pack that we haven't opened yet. Voila. I almost rested them on your belly, but we're not going to do that. So the point here on LI4, you're going to go ahead and pinch the hand together. We're going to needle right in through here. Nice quick little boop. So what you'll see is the point is really active. It's going to get nice and red around the needle. We're having a histamine reaction. In acupuncture theory, that is the evil chi leaving the body. From a Western medicine perspective, we're having a histamine response. You could see with that one that she had a nice little twitch. So that means I needled right into the trigger point. So that's great. Then, you know, being pregnant, we get a little stressed. So we're going to needle do 20 up at the top of the head. So this is going to bring the chi up to the top of her head. Helps with anxiety, depression, mostly anxiety, which I don't know why someone at 40+1 wouldn't have a little anxiety. And then we're gonna needle yin tong right here in the middle of the eyebrows, also where your third eye would be. Again, this is another point for anxiety, stress, take the bad energy from the body, bring it up to the top of the head, expel it out. What's really interesting is that a lot of acupuncture points also correlate to points that you will see that are regular common trigger points. So then we're going to find spleen 6. So I'm going to find her medial malleolus. I'm going to do 4 of my fingers. I'm going to go right here underneath her tibia. There's going to be a nice spot there that's a little tender. I'm going to needle right underneath it and drive that in. You can also see she's a little edematous. So you're seeing my fingerprint staying there. Luckily though, Dr. Amber, even though she has some swelling, has low blood pressure, so we're not worried about her being preeclamptic. So we're going to needle that point right there. And then the best part about doing this acupuncture for induction is now we get to add stem to it. So kind of like starting a car, we're going to hook Dr. Amber up to some stem. And then we're going to make the points jump and make those points active. But we're going to kickstart her labor. So I'm going to put one on the handle here and one here. Again, just like you would try to jump a car. And then we're going to do the same thing down here at her feet. But then because I have the red on that side or the black on that side, I'm going to put the red here. And then I'm going to put the black here. Now what we'll see is that one point in each side is going to be more active than the other. So then you can see here, so we're going to turn this on. All right, Dr. Amber. So let me know when you start to feel this numbness and tingling. This should be in your hands. Well, darn. Okay. So is it uncomfortable, or do you just feel the tingling? It should be just below painful.
That's probably good.
Okay. And now we're going to do the one in the hands. Same thing. You should start to feel, it should be just below painful.
I'm starting to feel it. Good right there.
Okay. All right. So then we leave it right here. Gonna let her cook. So if you come look at this point in the left hand, so you can see that it's twitching. This point's a little more active. You can see that she has that nice little histamine response. There's also a histamine response on the right side. Do you feel one side more than the other?
The right.
Okay. So not the side that's twitching, but that's the side that she feels more of. And I'm not really seeing any jumping in the ankle points yet. So sometimes what will happen is one of them will actually like jump out from all the activation, but it seems right now that her LI4 is more active than her spleen 6. So then what we do is we turn the lights down, give Dr. Amber a little bit of mood lighting, and we're gonna let her rest and relax, and then we're gonna come check on her and crank the stem back up. All right, so we came in to check on Dr. Amber, and the really active one on the left LI4 popped itself out. That needle gets thrown away, and we give her a new one. So it goes in our handy dandy little sharp box by my cute little bone pelvis. So what we did was we went ahead and we reinserted the left LI4, and you can see that I did not do the same insertion point, but she's still just as reactive on that left side as she was in that other point. All right. And then we're going to crank them back up. So I'm going to go to the same settings that they were before. So she was hanging out at a 2. And crank it up. So a lot of times what we'll notice too is that mom might start to notice that baby's getting a lot of extra movement. So what we're doing with the acupuncture is we're giving neurological input to the system that, hey, these points are active. Now we're going to add a noxious stimulus. So the stem is not painful. It's just like a high level buzzing. So it's just below that pain threshold. So that's sending all of this neurological firing to her brain. That's like, hey, something's going on. Hey, something's going on. And what her body does in response to that is that starts to have contractions in the uterus. And that is where you get the induction aspect of the acupuncture. So that's why these points, you're not allowed to needle more than one forbidden point throughout pregnancy until 36 weeks. So the LI4 is a forbidden point, spleen 6 is a forbidden point. We have one here, it's gallbladder 21 up at the top of the traps, do 20. Some more points that are on the posterior part of the spine, which I'm not going to show you right now, but basically they're points here into the sacrum. So that makes sense. We're not going to needle and then add muscle stim or electrical stimulation to a point in the sacrum when we're actively pregnant, and that LI4 just fell out again. So that point is really active for Dr. Amber. So we also have a really cool acupressure guide that we give to our patients that lays out different points that you can use before labor, during labor, if labor stalls, and you guessed it, a lot of them are those forbidden points, and mainly LI4, gallbladder 21, and spleen 6. That point really doesn't like you.
I know.
Okay.
I thought it was me at first, but
Nope.
I did not do that one for sure.
Nope, now I'm gonna go real deep. So we finished all of Dr. Amber's acupuncture, so we're going to adjust her now because we would like her to have her baby. There is no blood anymore, anywhere. Her head looks good. Yin Tong looks good. It actually probably feels good to. The swelling in your hand.
Cold hands feel good.
They're freezing. The swelling in your hands will go down.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. Good job. Let's see where you. Okay, I'm gonna take this down so it doesn't mess with my findings. How's your pubic bone feeling?
Fine right now, but not great while I sleep.
You're actually not too far off.
I almost feel like she like moved a little out of my pelvis.
She's not where she was.
Yeah. Because when I was getting up last night, it wasn't like the normal uncomfortable like it was.
You're still tight on the left round ligament, and you're still slightly short on the left side pubic bone. You were like, I wouldn't even call it a full millimeter. I'd say maybe like a half a millimeter. So it's slight. Mm-hmm. But where she was originally head at the pubic bone, I now have probably about 2 fingers of space.
Mm-hmm. So that's not great.
She'll go back down. She will descend. That's the thing.
But yeah, the left round ligament is starting to irritate me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll just press and hold. Thanks. Oh. Go ahead and stand for a second. You have to be for your brain to like really truly know like what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're at like 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks, like you go through more of an active labor. So that's where like I wonder too with you right now, like if that's where we're seeing like your delay in labor because your body hasn't like actively gone through like an active labor. Yeah. Whereas like patients that we've had that have miscarried at 16 weeks or 20 weeks, like.
But like my body was not getting rid of it on its own. Mm-hmm. I took like that medication to pass it. And even then, I had all the bleeding and all the clots and all that, and then it took another week, and then I passed something else. It was really weird. Like I think it was like delayed a week until I actually passed everything.
Right, and that's where I wonder, like because your body didn't go through that process, like you needed to have hormones. I wonder if that's part of where like you're holding on to her a little bit more now.
Yeah, probably.
Deep breath in. And out. Oh, good. And out. Damn.
But like with my mom's miscarriages, she knew both at 8 weeks.
Deep breath in. Interesting. I wonder why that is.
I know.
And then I also wonder what the familial link is there too. Like, is there something with you guys?
Because she told me, she was like, just be careful with